Hello and welcome to Learning NativeScript. In this series, we will cover creating our own mobile application in Android and iOS. First, a little about me. I have been programming and designing databases for over 15 years, created several Android and iOS applications including social media apps and games. I've worked with languages all the way back to Microsoft Basic and Atari. Now let's see what we'll cover in this course. In Section 1, we will cover an introduction to NativeScript and why you may choose NativeScript. NativeScript is an open-source framework for developing Android and iOS applications and allows for developers from a web background to create fully featured, performant native applications using JavaScript, XML, which is similar to HTML, and CSS styles. It allows you to use JavaScript or TypeScript for language, as well as has support for Angular and Vue.js. In Section 2, we will get your environment set up so you can create your own applications. We're going to use Visual Studio Code. I find this IDE to be one of the most full-featured, functional, and fast, as well as easy to set up and understand out of all the ones I've tried. In Section 3, we will make a very basic application. We can change how something looks, and we'll also change some functionality, and finally, we'll add an image from the internet to our application. And we'll add some complexity in Section 4. Once you've decided on what kind of app you want to build, it's important that you plan how you want to lay everything out for each screen. Section 5, we will work with some data and create a to-do list in NativeScript, adding some functionality to our to-do list. We can then check the status, and if it's 1, we push it to the bottom. As you can see, everything works fine on iOS as well. We will work with an API in Section 6. First, we need somewhere to place this data, so let's add a tab view to our application. Before we continue, here are the prerequisites for this course. For this course, you will need a Windows or Mac computer with an internet connection. To preview, compile, and submit your applications to the Apple Store, you will need to have a Mac computer. You cannot use a Windows computer to work with iOS applications. However, you can write the code on Windows and finish it on a Mac later. Testing your application on physical hardware will require an Android and Apple device with developer options enabled. If you do not have an iOS or Android phone, you can use an emulator. However, the iOS emulator is not available on Windows. Now, let's get started.